So for my 3 through 5 freeze tag lacrosse, or for my lacrosse game, I decided to do freeze tag lacrosse. This game is very simple, requires a lot of movement. Students will be skipping around, learning, or not learning because they're 3 through 5, but going over locomotor skills that they learned in K through 2. This is what the court will look like. Okay, so these little asterisks right here, these will be the taggers, and these will be the people they are trying to tag. Basically, this is what happens. This is the scoop. We're not going to use a lacrosse stick. And instead of using real lacrosse balls, which are really hard and would hurt really bad, we would use the nice little yarn balls to throw at the students. So this is the way it works. These students right here would be given a 5-second head start, and they would be told to start skipping or galloping. You can change the locomotor skill any way you want to, sliding, just anything from point A to point B, and the taggers have to do the same as well. So once the 5-second head start is up, these taggers are going to come out onto the court. Teacher will release them, and they'll come out onto their court with their little scoops, and they're in one yarn ball apiece, and they will start throwing underhanded. Now, they'll throw underhanded at a student, and if a student is, let's say, tagged, he's frozen. Okay, so this is the little position he's going to assume, and he's going to pretend to be a snowman. So he's going to pretend to be a snowman by putting his arms out to the side just like this, and then he's going to have his legs spread apart. Now, the way for the student to be unfrozen is for another student who's free, who's not a tagger, to run under and crawl between his or her legs. One rule to keep in mind, and one rule that I learned at Gunnersville Elementary School, 3 through 5 kids are not so much. K through 2, they like to do it a lot, but still in 3 through 5, kids like to dive on the floor, kids like to run around and jump, and a lot of times they just like to fall down. So if they fall down, it's the same thing as getting hit by a little yarn ball. They're out, and they have to act like a snowman and be frozen and wait for somebody else to crawl through their legs. And that will hopefully cut down on the kids sliding around. Now, here are the modifications that I've come up with. First of all, since the students are starting out throwing underhanded, we'd stop the lesson and we'd show them how to throw overhanded. We choose new taggers. The way we choose new taggers is whichever students were quote-unquote working hard during the game and were not tagged, we would ask them to stand up and everybody else to stand down, and then we would pick, say, one tagger for every 10 students. So say we have 60 kids, we would have 6 taggers. So we would have 6 taggers, and we would stop the game, teach them how to throw overhanded, and then they would throw overhanded for a little while. And then after they get good at that, then we would have another student, or another modification, we'd add that on during the game. We would have them throw underhanded with their non-dominant hand or their non-favorite hand. So they would learn how to throw with both hands underhanded that day, and also learn how to throw overhanded with their favorite hand that day or dominant hand. And that is freeze tag lacrosse for my 3 through 5 lesson plan.